Hello, I'm host Eric, host of Talking with Famous People, and this is daughter Delilah. She's the daughter of host Eric, and um, my favorite person in the world. So I'm very happy to have her agree to be on a video with me this evening and sit down and chat with me. It took a little cajoling. Um, she wasn't instantly cooperative or down, as you might say. But we just had a very pleasant dinner at the Cabot, um, and Delilah told me about her new product that she wants to generate, and it's based on the problem that she doesn't like the onion part of the onion ring. So, what do you think we should put in there instead, Delilah?
Well, if you go up to the counter and you order, onion rings without the onions, they might be a little bit confused at first. So upon further elaboration, you specify to them that you just want breaded circles. And if they ask what, there's breaded circles. It's just self-explanatory there.
Right. Circles of what? What do you mean? Just circles. Don't you have any in the back? I thought every restaurant kept circles on hand. So, hey, come on, little pigs, get out of here. We got wild guinea pigs running around here. So, as I mentioned in a video last night, Delilah, which I don't think Delilah ever watches any of my videos, so I'm quite certain of it, as a matter of fact. She could not be any less interested in anything that I do. So, but in a video last night, Delilah, I mentioned that you are also an ENTP type personality, and I wanted to talk to you about how it is for a chick who's an ENTP, because I only know it as a male, obviously. So, I've heard from other people on YouTube, watching like this one chick's video, that she's talks a lot about it being difficult being an ENTP chick because guys don't like it when you're assertive. Have you found that to be the case?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And they kind of like do this thing when you like first assert yourself and it's kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really hear you right. Were you trying to have some sort of say in anything here? And then you're just kind of like, actually, no, like, I'll start, you have to kind of put your foot down in the sense that, like, you kind of dismiss their whole existence after, they like reject your assertive ways, right? So, like, for example, like, once I start to realize that they don't like to mess with girls who know their place, and like to like put them in their own and put the guys in their own place, I kind of like, okay, then like you're not relevant or necessary in my life, and I just stop talking to them, and that's when they come back and they're like, very like, I don't know how to say it without sounding like very cocky, but like come back wanting more. Because, like, they realize, like, oh, like, I guess this is just how things are going to be. And I'm like, yeah, either they're going to be that way or they're not going to be at all. And so, yeah, it's definitely a challenge for me. I struggle in the romance department. Very few pool of mates from which to choose.
Well, I think that's very true, actually, even though it sounds ridiculous, because in terms of mates that are going to ultimately make you feel as though they fulfill all your needs, that may be tricky to find.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think you're looking for in a mate, primarily? I mean, obviously, you're not even 18 years old, so maybe mate is the wrong word. What are you looking for in a boyfriend?
Well, right now, I can't really answer that very well because right now all I really want is a boyfriend who drives and is willing to pick me up whenever I want and take me places whenever I want. And like who's good company, who's like funny, who I can just like hang out with. Like I want like a friend who drives and like but like okay, I want a friend who drives who's also a boy but is cool with picking me up whenever I want because he's my boyfriend. And that's all I really care about right now. But
you have very utilitarian, practical things you look for in a mate.
Yeah, okay. Well, if we want to go into specifics here, like if I really want to go into like a boyfriend that I actually want. I want someone with, goals. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to screw around until something ends up happening. And I guess, like, oh, my parents are going to take care of it for me. Like, no. Or, like, I can't have someone who is too goal oriented, because if someone's like way too focused on like getting to a good college or whatever, they're gonna put a lot before me. right.
You need to be prioritized,
and
right?
I mean, okay, no, I totally understand like work and school in front of me and stuff, but if like you are like constantly working on schoolwork, and also if you are one of those prestigious people with like a 4.0 and like all AP and honors classes, and that's like, and your schoolwork is like way more I guess important than mine, then I'm gonna feel like diminished, I guess, which I don't want. And I want someone like I just want someone I can like hang out with, go out with, who's smart. It's like.
But here's the thing, though. I think you want someone not relegate you to a status of lesser importance than other aspects of their life, but you also want somebody who's going to facilitate you. Because I can tell you from personal experience, we need facilitators. We need people who are willing to attend to details for us.
Oh, yeah. And,
your room's spotless, though, right? That's a weird thing. Is your room spotless? You think that's bad?
No, actually, okay. We're both at a very similar state of messiness, but I tend to get the necessary things done, like laundry. Laundry.
I did laundry today.
Yeah, but most of the time what happens is I have my load of laundry ready to do. I walk over to the washing machine, and there's a load of dirty clothes that have probably been sitting there for a day, and I have to put them onto the floor because he hasn't even started the wash. And I'm fine if you start the wash.
I put it in the wash, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If you start the wash and I get there to put my stuff in the wash and your stuff's already been washed, I'll move it to the dryer. But when it's not, then I'll just put it on the floor because that's annoying. And whatever. So I wash my clothes and I make my bed like once a week.
Like once since you had the bed.
No, I've made it quite a few times. I make it like when people come over.
Okay. You gotta put on a good page. You gotta put on a good show. I understand that.
Yeah, I do. I do have to put on a good show. And like, if I know that I'm gonna be staying out late, for example, and when I come home, if I'm gonna just want to like knock out on like not clean anything, what I'll do beforehand is I'll make a path that I can walk through, and also clear the area on my bed that I can just like crash on.
It's like exactly the shape of your body. You take extra time to make sure it's exactly the shape of your body.
Yeah, well.
Instead of just pushing everything. Like, if I were you, I'd first I'd grab everything that's going to be breakable, right? And then I'd put that over to the side. And then everything else, I just lift the blanket up and go like that until it all falls off.
No, I would. That's one thing I hate. It's like one time my dad went in there and like literally threw off all of my clothes onto the floor. But here's the thing. Here's my system. All the clothes on my bed are clean. All the clothes on my floor are dirty. So he mixed up all the clean and dirty clothes, and it was very frustrating trying to figure out which clothes were clean and which were dirty. So that's the things why I can't do that. So I do put away clothes more often. Well, I do put away clothes sometimes. But or like I'll put like a bunch of clothes into like, I'll have like a bag or something, like a purse kind of bag, but like a large one. I'll just like throw
That's a
all.
large purse. It looks like a trash can.
Well, I have this overnight bag, but like overnight for like a 2-day vacation. And I take it when I switch houses, because I have like 3 different households I go to during the week.
I'm a polygamist.
No.
And I've got several wives. She goes and stays with them all the time.
No, I just go to my stepmom's 2 days a week. I go to my mom's like a day or 2 a week. Whatever. So I use that bag, and sometimes I'll just like pick up all my clothes and throw them in that bag and then put that on the floor. And that works out. And also my bed's big enough that if I have a bunch of crap on one side of the bed, I can sleep on the other side and be fine with it. And
it's a
so
big bed. It used to be my bed.
yeah, and before I had a twin, so I went from a twin to a queen, which was useful.
Yeah, the queen's nice size bed. I sleep on the couch. It's just as good. I don't care.
But yeah, I feel like we were talking about something important. Oh, a mate. Yeah, as long as, like, I honestly, as I will, if, like, okay, as, when it comes to, like, long-term, committed relationship type mate, I'll do laundry, I'll, you know, like, make you some sandwiches, like, every once in a while or something. I'll pour chips onto a plate, and I'll put coffee in the coffee maker.
You pour chips onto a plate. This is your wedding vows or what?
Yeah. And then I'll do your laundry, and sometimes I'll make the bed. As long as you do, like, mostly everything else. But, like, if I have to do it, I will. But I will begrudgingly do it.
Do what?
Anything that else that I have to do, like, when it comes to, like, I don't know, doing dishes and
What
stuff.
makes you have to do something?
When either, okay, so could be stuff like bills and stuff, if there's, like, a due date or something, and my husband or boyfriend or whatever hasn't done it yet.
What about your father? How about helping me do
Okay,
bills?
but I'm not your wife, so that's...
Yeah, but you're still my family.
Okay, yeah, but I'm also a kid still.
No. Oh my god, do you believe that fucking bullshit? I'm also a kid still.
Wait. So, no, but anyways, if, like, I come home and, like, our power's shut off or our water's shut off because my dad hasn't paid the bills, then I'll figure out some way. I'll probably just call Candace, okay? But,
No, Delilah, we're gonna pay the bills.
yeah, okay, that's the thing.
All you do is write a check and send it to him.
Okay, then you can do that. That
Well,
sounds
you
like
can
fun.
do it though too. Why don't you help?
No, because you're the adult.
Why you're happy to spend the money? Can't you help me spend it on something useful for the family, not just for useful for you?
I haven't been spending a lot of money lately at all.
I don't say you do spend a lot of money.
Okay, anyways, I'm going back to what I was saying before. So, so if it comes to, like, or, like, dishes, if there's too many dishes in the sink where I can't wash my hands at this point, or if I need a spoon or something, I'll wash some of those dishes.
That's why we have a bathroom sink, Delilah. There's no dishes in the bathroom sink.
Yeah, but if I need a spoon and there's no spoons.
Remember when Candace left and you told me one day, you're like, yeah, hey, I'll get to that chore that I'm supposed to do. Like, oh, don't worry, I'll get to it. I haven't forgotten about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Old habits die hard.
I do.
I'm like,
I do.
what chore?
I do it like once a month, okay, and I'm supposed to do it once a week, and I do it like once a month. So yeah, I do it like once a month, or like sometimes I'll be really diligent and do it like 3 times in a month, and then like sometimes I won't do it for like a few months. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of future because it hasn't happened.
She's only been gone a couple months.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for the future, like just so
That's
you know.
your plan. That's your plan to fail.
Well. Like, one thing I have to do right now is I want to pour bleach down the sink so that it doesn't smell like vomit anymore. And it was starting to smell bad before anyways. Now it smells like puke.
Well, did he clean up or what?
I didn't check, but it didn't smell. He told me he did.
A friend came over and became ill in the sink.
I don't... Okay.
Regardless, he did clean some. I don't know if he cleaned
I don't.
it.
Yeah, I didn't check if he cleaned it, but he said that he cleaned it, and if he didn't, I'll be annoyed.
That was today, so that is getting cleaned up no matter what, because there's no way in hell we're living with vomit smell in the house.
I know, but whatever. Anyways, so the point is, I was gonna pour some cleaning stuff down the toilet and the sink, anyways, because it was starting to smell funny, and we haven't cleaned the toilet in a while. But that's just one of those things that, you know, it's a spur of the moment kind of thing. I can't plan it.
Right? Yeah, I know. Right?
If I'm sitting at home and I walk into the bathroom and like this happens a lot, okay? Where I'll like get a cotton ball or something, and then I'll use the cotton ball to put on like face toner, and then like there'll be like a spot on the sink, and after I'm done with cotton ball, like I'll scrub that spot off, and then I'll be suddenly inspired to clean the whole sink. But that needs to happen naturally. Like you can't force me.
I'm not trying to.
I'm saying you as in anyone.
One cannot force you.
Please stop, please.
So, talk to me about difficulties that you faced when you were younger in middle school and the extent to which you think that relates to personality type. 'Cause you had a hard time in middle school. What do you think about that? Do you think it has to do with... Because I had a hard time of it at certain points in my younger
Wait,
years,
are you
too.
asking, did my personality type affect or lead to me having a hard time, or does me having a hard time affect my personality type?
No, the former.
Okay, yeah, but I also think that, I don't know, I think it depends how much you factor in your personality type to one's perspective on things. I think my perspective on things was kind of like a factor in like the tough time I had. I don't know. I don't.
Well, explain how the perspective.
Like, okay,
Get down, Lacey. You're annoying.
some things I viewed as trivial, or some things I viewed as important, or some things, you know, that I enjoyed. I found enjoyment in or whatever, and found enjoyment in expressing those things, right? Other people seem to have issues with, and I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why, but I think that my perspective, like, oh, I mean, if I feel happy talking about things that make me happy, then why not do that? As opposed to other people's perspective of, no matter how happy it might make you to talk about it, even if you, like, for example, like playing video games or something like that. Even though no one cares. In high school, like right now, I don't care about telling people, like, the kind of video games I play, whatever, because no one really gives a crap anymore.
See, I want to ask more about that question in a second. Hold on. I want to ask more about the question of why do you think you can pull it off now? Is it something that you've changed, something that the other people has changed, or what?
I think it's both. I think that something about me has changed in that I care less, and I have a solidified group of friends and people with whom I associate myself, and I feel secure in that. And I feel like if I did, you know, go out and like do things like play nerdy video games, something like that, and it's kind of embarrassing or whatever, they wouldn't care enough to stop being friends with me. Because that's what happened in middle school. In middle school, that people cared enough. It's so hilariously dumb to think about now, that people cared enough about, like, the way other people thought about them so much that they cut off friendships with me. And I think that my friendships are real enough and genuine enough now that that's kind of stuff would happen. Another thing is, I changed in that, the people around me changed in that people have a lot of stuff to worry about on their own, a lot more so now than they did in middle school. Like, you know, school's a lot harder. You have to worry about college. A lot of people are in relationships now, and so they don't really care about what other people are doing unless it's like something big, you know, something weirdly big that causes you to lose friends over, right? So I think that it's a combination of things. And I think that overall, I mean, I'm happy now in general with, you know, my social status, my school, how school's going.
Because, yeah, you know, the way I perceive your middle school experience now, I mean, basically the same way I perceived it then, is that it was a hierarchy thing. You were basically, you were trying to battle that on that battlefield. You're trying to fight on that battlefield of social hierarchy and trying to establish yourself higher in the social hierarchy than you had the capital to accomplish at the time. So basically, like, you overshot your social goals and you got checked, and so you learned, oh, this is where the danger is. You know, you did the things that we do, which is you analyzed, you know, you got the data, you got the data, you analyzed, you adjusted, yada, yada, yada. It was rough because I was a teacher in the same middle school she was a student in. She spent a lot of her lunches with me in my classroom, you know, crying and stuff. So I did everything I possibly could. But I think it was good. I think it was good that it happened to her ultimately.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that, first of all, I'm a very empathetic person without that experience. Lacey, please stop. I'm a very empathetic person without that experience, but I think that it helped me have more empathy towards certain groups of people, like the kind of people who are bullied now or like, you know, have struggle with social things now, and it helps me understand both perspectives, right? You know, but whatever. You know, there's still been a couple of times, mostly my freshman and sophomore year, but occasionally now, where I'll call my dad to pick me up from lunch and be like crying because of like, you know, not necessarily even friend things. Sometimes it'd be like relationship stuff that I'd be upset about. But now it's something like, you know, oh, I'm kind of annoyed with the people around me right now. I'm just kind of tired of them. Like, can you come pick me up for lunch? So it's definitely a lot healthier of an interaction.
My take on the lunch thing in general is, like me, you really like change a lot. Like, I don't like this. It doesn't even matter if I have any reason to. If I'm someplace where I'm supposed to stay in that location for a long period of time, like 6-7 hours or whatever, I will go in my car and drive away for a little while and sort of drive around the streets and then come back.
Yeah, like, okay, when I get my license at least and I'm able to take the car to school, I envision most days coming home and just kicking it at home, like taking a nap or like, you know, just laying down for a little bit or something. Anything really to get out of school or like hanging out in my car or something. Hopefully that happens. I think the biggest thing I've kicked myself for in high school is not getting my driver's license earlier.
Well, yeah, whatever. So, look, you're a remarkably good writer. Unfortunately, you've been tasked heretofore with writing purposeless things, you know?
Yeah.
You've been... And that's not how you learn to write, by the way. I want to stress that. There was no learning to write in classes. You learn to write by reading and by just deducing the nature of prose voice. Lacey, you are so, this dog is so sneaky. She will compel you with her magic to pet her and kiss her and love her, even though it's annoying the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's annoying me. That's what was happening earlier. She like pushes her wet nose onto your hands, and you're like this, and then she's still looking up at you. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So the thing is, and yet I've never heard you tell me you want to write, like if you wanted to do
as a career.
Well, I mean, or no, not necessarily as a vocation, as an avocation. Vocation being work and job. Avocation being like spirit job.
Oh, yeah. You know, my best friend got me this notebook for my birthday, and it's entitled "My Brilliant Fucking Ideas," and or like my fucking brilliant ideas, something like that. And I'm very sad because I haven't started writing in it yet. And it's like when I do have like the motivation or like an idea to write or like to write about or whatever, I'm never in a situation that I can just start writing, you know? And so then by the time I get home, I don't either have that idea anymore, I have that motivation anymore. And of course I love writing, but I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to things like that. Like earlier I was saying, like, I either want it to be perfect or to not be. I was talking about my senior quote. I got a senior quote and it was like, it's like whatever, average. But I want it to be either kick ass or to not be there. You know, and so, like, sometimes when I write things, I get very frustrated with myself because, like, yeah, it's good for a while, there's some extra good parts, but it's not as good as I want it to be, and then I get tired of it.
Okay, but look, I think, here's the thing, Delilah, what you need to experience, and I think will do you a lot of good, is what I would call, long tail stuff, or accumulated worth value, which means if you have one place where you write text, like a blog or whatever, and even if you only write a few half-assed things and then you write a little bit, but you don't delete them and you leave them there, and they start to accumulate and you start to develop a sense of your own voice and body of work over time. And then the thing is, the nice thing about the way the internet's set up, right, for blogs and shit, is if you get disinterested in it, which you will, You know, that's the other thing. Don't expect it to be anything other than that. Say, I know, I'm going to write like 2 blog posts. I'm going to be really down, like, fuck yeah, I love this. And then I'm going to be like, fuck no, I don't want to do that. And then that's fine. But know that going in and be like, I am totally allowed to do that. And maybe in a few weeks after that, maybe I'll feel like writing another blog post. Who knows? If you allow it to be like that, if you don't try to force yourself to conform to the expectations of non time twisted people like us, you know, like we're not timed properly, or we're not timed in the way other people are, so that time seems much slower to us if we're doing something boring. I guess that the time effect of interest level is maximized with us over all the other types. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I think. But what do you think about writing? Beyond feeling like a perfectionist, what do you feel like you have stories to tell?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Look who's here again.
Yeah, she knocked my phone out of my pocket, and anyways.
I'll get her a place to sit. That's the problem. She doesn't have a place to sit.
So, how do I feel about writing? Do I have stories to tell? Yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to tell, I don't know. I like writing about, like, I don't know, man. The thing is, though, here's the thing. I like writing about, or talking about in general, like, my perspectives and, like, my, like, various theories and, like, you know, things that are going on in my head, right? But I know that other people have written it before, and other people have written it better, and other people have probably written it exactly how I want to write it. And because of that, because of that, I don't want to start doing that, because it's like, you're going to find something better than what I'm writing anyways. And when it comes to, like, fictional writing kind of stuff, it's the same exact thing. No matter what kind of ideas I come up with.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Makes a clack clack.
It's the same thing, because no matter what ideas I come up with, when it comes to, like, fiction, someone's done it before.
Okay, but here's the deal, Delilah. I want to correct you on something. Your mistake is thinking that the originality of the individual ideas matters. It doesn't. You can tell the same exact story as somebody else has told, but if you're telling it yourself with your own version of those characters, it'll turn into, unavoidably, a completely unique story, even if you base it exactly on the plot structure of some Shakespeare play or something. It doesn't matter. You won't end up basing it on that. It won't end up having the same plot structure. And by the time it's just like music. Well, there's only 12 notes on the scale, but it doesn't mean there's only 12 songs.
Yeah.
Put them in all sorts of different orders, and the same thing with narrative ideas. But I don't know if you're necessarily implicitly a fiction person. You might be more non-fiction-y.
I am.
I'm more non-fiction.
I don't know. I have an interesting imagination, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm a good writer, but I've noticed that I do these things. I'm not good at, like, focusing on one thing.
Well, I know. That's what I'm telling you. You got to structure things so that you are okay with it. Look, here's the problem, Delilah. The problem is, when you leave something half-finished or whatever, you feel like you failed. Like, I didn't finish another thing. I don't even want to fucking start any more things, because I'm so tired of not finishing things I start. If you are totally okay with it, and you believe and have faith in the knowledge that one of those things that you half-finish, you'll end up all the way finishing, because it'll have sufficient momentum in and of itself to carry you through to the end. And if it doesn't, then it's not meant to be made through to the end. And it's okay. And it's just how we work. And it's how we operate. It's the price we pay for better ideas. So, I mean, I'm saying, and the world teaches you right away. It's like saying, you have to think of yourself as a failure because you didn't finish that. You said you were going to do that, and you didn't never do it. And then you seem so excited, and now it's like you just forgot all about it. What's the big deal? All that shit, you know? It's like, that's just people saying, I don't like the way you guys are. Well, fuck you. You know, I mean, we're the ones with all the good ideas. Help us. All right?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I don't know. I'm sure I'll do something worthwhile when it, like, in, like, sense of writing, like, one day. I'll find something, like, that I'll actually, I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
But the thing about worthwhileness is it's worthwhile just to add to the total. Any of these goddamn pigs out of here because they're going to chew the wires. Paul, you are not allowed in here. Where's fucking Dixie when you need her?
I don't know, but I think that's a
we're
good
done.
stopping
Yeah, I
point.
think so too. I could see it about 2 minutes ago. You starting to get antsy, and I thought as well. 30 minutes. Okay, thank you, Delilah. Bye. Peace.